for this far. We always say it has taken His hand for us to be where we are and for us to be alive and for us to be in good health. We really thank God. And I also pray that you are well and kept of the Lord. I want first to thank those that have subscribed to our channel, the returning subscribers, the new subscribers. We really appreciate you. We thank you and we pray for you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord enlarge you. May the Lord protect you. May the Lord shield you together with your family. We don't take it for granted, guys. And today, I have several things to talk about, guys. I'm going to talk about the lad we all love, the lad of Jamaica. And that is the tingo for today. We are going to talk about Jamaica and we are going to look at what is so common between Jamaica and Kenya. And we're also going to look at Coco girl, what is she up to right now. And we are going to look at, is African tigress a Haitian? We are going to find out that. And finally, we are going to look at the camp of the haters. There is a gang. And we're going to look at what is Masuan up to. So that is what we have lined up for you today. And we're going to start with the lad we all love. Guys, I was watching a video by a man called Jamaican Walk By. And he was going through the streets of St. Thomas. And I tell you, I was seeing the streets of Kiambu. Kiambu is where I live. It is a town just nearby where I live. And it is a few kilometers from Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya. So as Jamaican Walk By was going through the streets of St. Thomas, I could see a lot of similarities between St. Thomas town and Kiambu town in Kenya. And we are going to highlight some of the things that I saw. But before I go to that, Jamaicans, can you tell us the secret? What am I talking about? I saw this lady as the same person, Jamaican Walk By, was going through the streets of St. Thomas. He met a lady. My God, this lady looked so beautiful. She had one, actually I'll put a clip of her after this. She had worn a matching dress, shoes, and a hat. And this lady looked like she's in her 50s. Do you know how old she was? I was shocked. She was 19? She is, because she's already there. She's 97 years
Almighty, look at that.
Jamaicans in the house.
Nice,
tell us the secret.
So
what is this secret? This lady had not bent. She was straight. She was walking very well. She was communicating very well. She was from a shop. She had gone for shopping. And I wondered, this lady, 97, oh my God. A 97-year-old in Kenya. My mother is almost that age. And I tell you right now, she cannot come out of the house. And most of the Kenyans, I don't know whether it is because of the food we eat, or our type of life, or stress, I don't know. But that lady looked, wow, she looked so nice, upright, not bedding. Actually, she said she was from St. Elizabeth. She said she's from St. Elizabeth. And if I was near her, I would have asked her the secret. 97-year-old. And she's going for shopping. She's so straight. She's so fluent in her patois. It was awesome to see her. You are going to tell us the secret, Jamaicans in the house. So let us start going through the streets of St. Thomas. I followed Jamaican Walk By one on the streets of St. Thomas. What did I see? I saw food being sold on the streets, juice, and some, I think they are parties, Jamaican parties, but I'm not sure. I could see some things that look like parties that were being sold, and juice. And I could see chicken on the streets of St. Thomas. And this business were covered with umbrellas. If you come to the streets of Kiambu, I think one of these days I'll take you around the streets of Kiambu in the evening. Because even in St. Thomas, Jamaican walk by was actually walking in the evening because it became dark as he was walking. So if you go to the streets of Kiambu, from 6 p.m. upwards, you're going to find people selling chicken on the roads, selling chapati. Chapati is what? What are they called in English? Chapati is a duff kneaded and you roll and then you cook. So you're going to find chapati being sold on the streets, and we have also githeri. Githeri is the common food of the Kikuyu community in Kiambu. Githeri is a mixture of corn and beans. So you'll find that being sold on the streets, and you'll also find beans being sold on the streets, and you'll find black beans being sold on the streets, and even fish. And this is what I saw along the streets of St. Thomas. That is one common thing I found that, like, by the way, when the Jamaican walk by was walking around the streets of St. Thomas, I was actually seeing as if I am walking in the streets of Kiambu. The other thing that I saw that was very, very common to where we are was that the parking of vehicles. I saw a small billboard written the parking fee, and it is a parking area. Here in Kenya, we have parking areas, and you pay a given fees amount of money for you to park the car inside that parking lot. And I saw that in Jamaica. The other things that I saw motorbikes. I didn't know that Jamaicans use motorbikes for their transportation. Here, motorbike in Kenya is one of the main transport, one main way of transport in Kenya, motorbikes. And I saw them in Jamaica. You're going to tell us in the comment section below whether the motorbikes I saw are actually for public transport or private transport. The other thing that I found common is the way the clothes are arranged in downtown in Kingston. The hawkers, I don't know what you call them. In Kenya we call them hawkers or vendors. Those people that sell clothes in the market. And I saw some in downtown Kingston, and I could see the arrangement of those clothes were exactly the way we arrange our clothes when we are selling here in Kenya. The arrangement, the way people call the customers, saying the price and advertising the item we are selling. Actually, the Jamaican walk-by actually joined one of the sellers. That woman was outside a vehicle, and the items were inside the vehicle, which is very common here in Kenya. We put items in the vehicle, and the person who is selling is outside the vehicle, and he or she is advertising the goods. And I saw the Jamaican walk by, joined the lady, and they started advertising the items and making fun as they advertised the items so that people can come and sell. That is another thing that I found very, very common between Kenya and Jamaica. The way they arrange the items they are going to sell. The arrangement. It was so common with what we have here in Kenya. The other thing that I found common is that the taxes, the transport tax, they have, I saw a blue and white line all around the vehicle. Here in Kenya, we put a yellow line. A yellow line around the taxes so that you can know a transport vehicle, a public vehicle, and an individual vehicle. I saw that in Jamaica, if I'm not wrong. Then, the other thing that I saw which was common, there is this vehicle that is pushed, not vehicle, it is just, in Jamaica they call it the push cart. Here in Kenya, we call it mkokoteni in Kiswahili. Mkokoteni. So in Jamaica, I could see the push carts being pushed to transport goods from one point to the other. And in Kenya, actually, in Nairobi, the central business of Kenya, you'll find mkokoteni. I have told you the push cart is called mkokoteni in Kenya. you'll find mkokoteni being pushed so that they can transport goods from one place to the other, and for the customers that are buying items in the supermarkets, in the markets, in everywhere. They help the customers to take the items to where they have the vehicle or to the public vehicle space. So that is something else I found common in Jamaica and in Kenya. The other thing is the type of food we eat. In Jamaica, they love eating rice and peas. If I am wrong, you can correct me. Rice and peas. In here, in Kenya, especially in the Kikuyu community where I belong, we usually cook stew. We prepare stew composed of peas, potatoes, meat, carrots, and we spice it the way we want. And then we take that as stew, and then we cook rice separately, and then we have food. And I saw the common food in Jamaica is rice and peas. So we have almost the same common food, but here in Kenya, we don't have, what is it called? Aki and starfish, we don't have. While in Jamaica, they have that, and it is very common dish. Actually, I saw that dish is recognized in the whole lot of the world. It is a very common dish in Jamaica. The other thing that I found common, what else did I find common in Jamaica and in Kenya? On the streets of Trench Town, I could see some men taking what? Just seated. And they seated, and sometimes they are taking lamb. Lamb is the common alcohol in Jamaica. But here in Kenya, it's not common. That one is not common. The other thing is that the Jamaicans grow coffee, we also grow coffee. But the coffee in Jamaica is top notch. According to what I have heard, it is of very good quality. Here, coffee and tea are actually the main cash crops, and maize in the Rift Valley side of Kenya, they grow maize. No, they grow maize, and even in the western and where? Western Rift Valley and Nyanza province. We call them provinces. In Jamaica, I saw they call them parishes. So in those provinces, they grow maize in plentiful supply. They also grow wheat, and that is what we use to prepare wheat flour, which we use to cook chapati and mandazi. Mandazi is something like patty in Jamaica, but it doesn't have those things that are put inside the patty. I've seen the patty in Jamaica. It is put some either vegetables or maybe meat, I don't know. And here in Kenya, we don't put anything, and that is what we call mandazi. Now, whatever we put meat or vegetables, we call it samosa in Kiswahili, samosa. And therefore, I can see we have a lot to share when it comes to Jamaica and when it comes to Kenya. Let me go to Coco Girl. What is Coco Girl up to? Guys, I realized that this lady, I think because of how she has been brought and the environment, she cannot stop arguing. I watched her in a video whereby she was taking a public vehicle to go to Portland, I think, Portland. And she was arguing with this driver about the fare, how much she has been charged, and she was complaining that she's being charged more than the local people there. And she was saying she's being charged more because she's white. And I found that it is like, it is in her DNA, actually, to complain and to argue. But she has a good side. Let me say, everyone on earth has got this weak side and the strong side. And I find Coco Girl so open, so she can socialize with anyone. And the only thing I find, she's a little bit quick-tempered, and also she likes arguing, and she really talk about that she's very brave. Or of course she's brave, because for you to be able to argue with the local people in Jamaica, you must be brave. And she was giving a case whereby she had fought a who? Is it a lady or a man? They had argued and she felt this guy was too much and she slapped him. And she was saying that she's not confronter. She doesn't start a fight, but when confronted, she will fight for herself. So sometimes, guys, let us just give our girl time. She is going to change because she's interacting with different people and she's going to learn. Her argument does not lead her anywhere. Actually, the Jamaican guy was very cool. She was not arguing. Coco girl was arguing, but he kept quiet. So sometimes people are born like that, or they are made to be like that by the environment to where they have been brought up, or what has been happening. Like Israel, we know there has been fights, there has been a lot of commotions. Maybe that is why Coco girl is like that. I'm not trying to defend her, but I think sometimes we can just give a little leeway to people because we don't know where they are coming from. Actually, she said something that made me to think about her. She said that before she started YouTube, she was actually working in I think in America, whereby she was wiping the poo-poo. The poo-poo of the old people. She could change them diapers. And she used to wash them. And you know, you don't do such kind of work because you want. Poverty and problems make you to do such kind of work. So guys, let us go to, is African tigress a Haitian? I saw somebody saying that African tigress is a Haitian. I want to say African tigress is a Kenyan from here in our country. And she just went to visit, to tour. Actually, she's a traveler. She's a single traveler. She travels from one country to the other. And she had gone to Jamaica before going to Bahamas, and then she went to Haiti. And she's a brave woman who has decided to just reach Haiti when people have refused to go, people fear to go, people don't want to go there because of the stories they are hearing. And African tigress volunteered to go to Haiti and bring us stories, the real stories about Haiti. I have learned a lot myself about Haiti through her. So African tigress is not a Haitian. Because I saw someone, and I think the person was saying that, I don't know whether she's from Haiti, and she was saying African tigress is a Haitian. She's not. And the person was saying, because she was talking, what is the language? They are Creoles, something like that. But we saw very clearly that African tigress was actually learning the language of Haitians through this guy who is taking her out. And she was asking him the different things she can say using the Creole language. I think it's called Creole. And therefore, she is not a Haitian. She's a Kenyan who is doing a very wonderful job of showing us the real Haiti. What is happening in Haiti and what is on the ground without hearing rumors and without being made to fear, where it is not that bad, whatever is happening there. And lastly, I'm going to talk about Masuan. Masuan is the guy who told us that biological father of Marwa has appeared. And he went ahead and interviewed that guy and brought to us the interview claiming that the guy is Marwa's father. We have not yet known whether it was true, whether the guy was Marwa's biological father, because mother has not talked and the mother has not talked, so we cannot tell the truth. And this guy, when the people reacted against him for actually taking the family story out there in the public without their permission, because even if you are reacting, there are some stories you are not supposed to just give to the public without considering other people, without minding how it will affect other people. We must be considerate, even as we make videos, even as we make content, we must mind other people's affairs. So Masuan was actually attacked by one of the guys, I can't remember his name, and after that, he started threatening people. And some of the people have actually moved, Odinga one, has actually moved from Nyambohase so that this guy does not do harm to him. And there is also another guy who is being threatened right now, and he was actually saying he will take the story to the police so that this Masuan can be asked why he's threatening people. And I hear that Masuan is not a very good guy. He doesn't have a good record. According to those people, I don't know, by the way, I'm not sure. I'm just saying what I have. According to these people I have heard saying, they said that this guy has run away from Nairobi because he did something. He ran away from Tanzania because he did something. It's like he has ever killed someone. And therefore, Masuan, can you get used to reaction? Get used to reaction. You also react to people and they don't threaten you. They don't walk with the knives to kill you. So get used to reaction and stop overreacting and threatening people and sending people away from their villages. It's not right. You have been reacting about Marwa. You have been reacting about the Mwango. You have been reacting about Kograt's mom. Actually, you are the first person that talked about Kograt's dad, and nobody threatened you. So please don't threaten other people. We are here on these streets, and if you cannot agree to be criticized, then come out of YouTube. YouTube is not for you. So get used to criticism and take it positively and move forward. Thank you guys. I'm going to stop at that. Thank you. See you during the next video.